Hello, it's Johnny. Today I have a new stuff just came in. Well, actually, it didn't just came in. It came in for almost a month or two. I got from Adafruit. Adafruit is Ada and then fruit.com. They sell pretty good stuff that is pretty cheap, and they don't overprice it because they come directly from. So I got the Raspberry Pi 2W, and it's supposed to be close to Raspberry Pi 3B plus. Okay, so this one should be running pretty good. I also bought a header, like adding a header to automatic. You just pound that in without soldering, and the automatic will give you the pin for the size. So I bought that for that purpose, but now it doesn't seem like I'm gonna use this because I'm gonna put it on the GPI case. So I have a GPI case, which it came it's a Greek Pi RetroFlag for Pi W. Okay, and it comes with a 32 gig already pre-configured SD card. That's what I was told. So I paid about $95 from Amazon. It comes with the bag, the case that for it. It looked pretty good. It remind me of the Nintendo DS case. So I went and got it. I really don't need to, but oh well, 95 bucks. I guess it's okay. It's kind of smelled a bit. I guess it doesn't smell new. It smells more like sour taste. All right, so this is the SD card that have the stuff in it already. So we'll use that later. I also created some 32 gig. It also have a screen protector, which is pretty cool. So we're gonna have to put this in. Hopefully I could do that, pretty quick. And then here's another bag that you could pouch. The pouch, RetroFlag by RetroFlag company. They're coming a long way, creating a pretty cool stuff. So this is a good heat sink for it because you want a copper. You don't want an aluminum. Copper is the best way to reduce the heat on the Raspberry Pi. Okay, and then here is the case. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. Well, this is what the case in the back look like. So those of you who want to, it come with the plug. I guess the connect fast, go back here, power, and then the case to put your SD card in, value rocker, and a phone jack. So you could plug it in here and listen to the game. And that's what RK1 Generation 3, the monitor that they put out from eBay that do not have. So those I know there are a couple of people asking me, Johnny, are you going to do a mod on those Gen 3 that you bought? The Mortal Kombat, the Ninja Turtle, the NBA Jam. What's the third one? Yeah, Mortal Kombat, NBA Jam. Oh, and Marvel the fight. And now I like all of those four, and I don't know if I want to mod them because I have some old ones, Generation 1, that I don't mind modding them because I bought 2 of them when they were on sale. But I'm not sure if I want to mod them. They're not that cheap. Right now it's $149.99, but still that wasn't the price when I bought it. The generation 1 and 2, they were like only, you know, 50 bucks and 79 bucks, you know, under 100. So those I don't mind buying the extra one modded, but the one that I bought is under 200, but it's not under 149. So I'm not sure I want to mod them. I kind of want to keep it the way it is, but who knows, down the road, once they come up with the video card that support the head jack and the I mean, I could probably get something to make it work, but it'd be nice to if when they come up with a video card that support the monitor plus support the port and the head jack. Okay, so here's the instruction how to put it together. Step 1, step 2, and so on, so on. So it should be pretty self-explaining. All right, and let's take it out from here. Let's look at it real quick. Now, I don't know how comfortable this thing is because I just bought a pocket, analog pocket, and they're bigger than this. But my biggest concern is where the L1, L2 button, because I never like this kind of handheld. I like the one sideways. So when Analog came up with that kind of joystick, I'm kind of like, you really do, man? Nintendo learn from their mistake, and now they change it to a better handheld game, and you guys are still looking at the old style. It's like, hello, people, wake up. You know, Analog. That's part of the reason people don't really buy it, because I mean, it's cute, it bring back the old memory, but the old memory is the pain in the neck playing this kind of where your hand is so close and you're playing. So that's the old memory, you know. After people start playing, it's, oh yeah, I know why I stopped playing Game Boy Color, because I was tired of holding it, because it's the way it is. But this one actually, it feels pretty nice, you know. It's not too bad. But yeah, and then the L1, L2 button is back here, and that's the battery, and this is the one that we will have to pull out, and memory card go here, and we're going to open this up, and yeah, micro SD card go here. So we're going to open this up and put the Pi in here. All right, so let's put this to the side. So we'll drop it. Should move that out of the way first. Okay, so let's put that to the side, and let's work on speed up the process. Okay, I forgot to put the heat sink in. That's the reason I took it off again. And they kind of snap onto it, and then you put the screw in. I'm gonna put, based on this instruction, I'm supposed to go download the patch, okay, for safety shutdown. So right now is on off. And then step 2 is say install the GPI case patch by downloading this. And then I guess you save it to the micro, so you have to run the patch first. And I guess before you do anything, it still need to be off when you put it in. I guess somewhere down the road, I guess you will have to install the patch. Okay, and they didn't really mention when you put the SD card in, but I already put the don't insert the screw before put the shell 2. Okay, yeah, I didn't mention where the heatsink the copper is supposed to be on, but I believe it should be on the one I put on, the black one. Okay, so that's pretty much it on this instruction. So let's go, and I'm gonna use the Raspberry Pi that I got from Arcade Punk. To open this is not from here, it's from the top. So you pull this down, and I'm gonna go ahead and insert the Raspberry Pi in here, and we're gonna boot it up with my SD card. And I have no clue which direction should be, because this is the first time I have this Raspberry Pi 02. So I'm assuming it's going to be on like facing up. Let's try facing up. See if it go in or not. Doesn't go in as smoothly as I expected. Feel like it's tilting sideways. Let's have it upside. Okay, I went to recall.com and I'm clicking download. Now I need to choose the right image because apparently I did not select the correct image. So I'm going to see all image. Okay, now we're talking. Well, I downloaded the recall box for Raspberry Pi 02, but it wasn't for GPI case. So he told me that I didn't download the correct one. Alright, so this, if you are using just a Raspberry Pi 2 without the GPI case, then this will be correct, but I downloaded the incorrect one. So Raspberry Pi 01 with GPA, nope. I need the one that, okay, GPI case plus Raspberry Pi 02. That's the one I have. So it's a GPI case. Okay, so that's the one. I don't know what this is for, but I'm gonna go ahead and click download. And so this is not correct. This is just for Raspberry Pi, and this one have the case with the case. I'm gonna put new folder. So this is the GPI case plus Pi 02. Okay, so I'm going to save that. Now they recommend using the other program. I'm not going to use that because I'm just going to use the one. I'm going to use this one. Okay, so I'm going to select a different image. And this time I'm going to choose this one instead. So actually I got, when I boot up, I actually see something in my GPI case, but I went up, did not get the right image. So I need to look for 256 gig. Oh, I didn't put it in yet because it's still on my device. So let me turn off the case. Okay, I went and plug it in and it's giving me error right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and select that one because it have two partitions. So I'm gonna go ahead and flash it. I'm gonna say yes because it's 256 is real big, and I say yes. So I'm gonna let it flash, and you're gonna run the window command prompt processor, say yes, and then it's gonna start writing it. So once it finishes, I'm gonna pop it back into my RetroFlag, and then I'm going to, after that, I'm gonna come back here and then put in the ROM into the SD card. So let's go ahead and fast forward this. Okay, the flash is complete, successful. So I'm going to reject it. But in the meantime, I wonder if I run the disk manager, does it use up all my disks, or do I actually have? So it should be in my J. It's not recognized it because it just finished burning it. I'm just going to pop it out, and then when I pop it back in, I can look at it. I will leave this on. So I'm going to take the SD card out and put it into my Pi and see what's going on. Okay, I got my 256 gigabyte SD card, and I'm going to go ahead and put this in, put it in facing backward. Okay, so I got this thing right here. It's best to take this out when you put it in, because I noticed that when I try to do it without pull the whole thing out, the button, I guess you could leave it like that. You could leave it like that because I'm going to take it out anyway. So I don't want to break this. Keep on take it out, put it in. Okay, so I'm going to have this go down here. And it's okay because it's not touching anything, so you could just leave it open for now. But if you try to take this out without pull this out, if this was like not level correctly, you cannot turn it on. See that? You cannot turn it on if it's not level correctly, like this opening, because you're trying to take it out. So make sure you push it all the way in, and then this will able to turn on. Now the first time when I turned it on, it did boot up and show recall box, and the red light is on right now. It's kind of weird why it's red. Okay, so it come up. Cool. I was just very excited about that. Finally see this. Now is installing. So that's cool. That's really good. Good news. I'm gonna turn I turn it real bright, so I'm gonna turn it down a little bit, cause the color kind of awkward in a way. Okay, I guess that's pretty good. Now, I don't know about how good this screen is. For some reason I was feeling like I'm seeing some kind of a So far so good. The IPS screen, the color seem to be okay, but somehow it's getting a reflection from the light behind me. So now it's saying installing the GPI case. A while ago when I put in the wrong one, it just Pi02. It wasn't doing that. Alright, this is the latest version, 8.0. Cool. We actually have some music. So let's turn the music down real quick before I get flagged from YouTube. Alright, so I don't have any game at all. So, but it's showing, oh, I have 3 games already on Apple. Interesting. Apple 2. Atari have 4. 1. So I guess this version, it actually has some game in there. Huh. Let's press A. No, B. Oh wow, it does have some game. Interesting. So how do I get out here? Press A. Yeah, so A to get out, B is to get it go in. 9 Game Boy, so press B. So this image that you download from Box does come with some game. Huh. Space Twin. I had no idea. No idea about none of this game. Alright, press A to get out. Gameboy Color. I had no idea what that is. 2. 4 game from May. Press B. Okay, so let's get out here by pressing A. Sega Master, Genesis. I never heard most of this game here. It's like kind of maybe a homebrew game. I believe that's probably it. Okay, press A, get out. Alright, let's go to the computer and see if we could transfer some game over here. TurboGrafx have a homebrew. Santa Claus game. Interesting. Alright, let's go back to the computer and see if we could add some TurboGrafx and some I'm more interested in adding TurboGrafx and Nintendo DS. Ooh, does it have Nintendo DS? Oh, now since I'm changing it, I'm not outside I'm inside the physical game selection. I don't think it have Nintendo D. Well, maybe not homebrew, but yeah. Okay, so let me press A to get out. I believe if I was to put in the Nintendo DS, it might show up, because right now it doesn't show Nintendo DS here at all. I think it only show up if you put some game in here. Alright, let's go to the computer and transfer some game. Okay, I put the SD card back in, and I was running this program called Disk Manager. you don't have to type in disk management, just type disk space manager, and this will pop up. And look like it recognized my recall box, and it have an N drive and a share folder. So it looked like it is using the pretty much all the hard drive space, which is pretty cool because I didn't have to like extend it bigger. So it recognized my 256 gigabyte. For some reason, 1 gig partition is in the back. I guess that's part of the recall box way of doing things. Okay, so we're good here, and the flash is finished. We're gonna close that one out. Now we're gonna look for the N drive and the share folder. So recall box is right here. It's the N drive. And I'm kind of curious is exactly what is in here, because I would like to able to create a Raspberry Pi using the other one instead of this one. Oh, see the resolution. This is the resolution for it. And raise the first security limit 70 instead of 60. So if it get too hot, it will give me a warning of the temperature. That's pretty cool, pretty good. Including recall box dot text. So it's including something in here. The CRT text. Where's CRT text? Huh. Okay. Let's see. All right. Let's go back and see if we could find the share folder. Some reason I'm not able to see the share folder because there's no physical drive attached to it. So let's assign a physical drive letter, because I can't see it if there's no physical drive letter. So change the drive letter. Let's add a drive letter. Okay, let's do an L. Interesting. When I first popped it in, it was giving me error too with the Android. Now it's giving me error on this new drive letter that I assigned. Okay, so now I have an error. So now I should be able to see it. Okay, so we need the bio to move over here. It looks like I already have some. And then I need to move the ROM over. Okay. So let's go get the ROM from my, cancel that. Okay, the Raspberry Pi, it have box art where this one don't. So I'm just going to copy just the ROM over. I think it's freezing up. So I'm going to do copy, and I'm going to come here and paste the. So I select 987 file. Cool. Right. And then we are going to, I don't think I have anything for Atari.
mainly is I have some Dreamcast, but those are more like the homebrews game. It's not really it's a homebrew Dreamcast game. It's not. So I guess I could copy those over. So it looks like they call it different. They have NES, but they don't have Famicom like FC and we call box. Interesting. Okay. So I don't really want everything. I just want the most popular one, the one that I like. So let's copy just those. And Famicom on we call box is probably just gonna be NES. So I'm gonna put that in here. I don't have anything final but Gamegear. Nope. I don't have Game Boy either. Game Boy Advance. Nope. I just mainly have arcade type. Genesis. Yep. Genesis I only have 30 because those are the only one that I want to play the most. So I didn't want it to like copy the full library over because I found myself not playing with it as much when if I copy too much over, I found myself overwhelmed with too much stuff to which I just don't even play it. So if I just put my favorite game over, I think would be the best bet. Now this image that I'm copying over is only a 128 gigs, so I definitely have more space for this, but I'm not transferring. So I don't have, Mega Drive here. See, if I wanted the full library, this is like 788, but I'm only transferring, I forgot how many I'm transferring, but I'm not transferring the whole thing. But if I was to transfer everything as a 788 file that I could move over. So I don't know. I'm debating. I wish I have another, like instead of Mega Drive, there's a English and American version. Then I could just put a different one in here. But nope. So I'm gonna skip that for now. Now I do have a lot of Nintendo DS, so I will be moving a Nintendo DS. But the problem is I don't know this support Nintendo DS. Nintendo 64, Neo Geo. I just did NES. Open board, PC Engine. Yeah, there's no Nintendo DS. Sad to say, there's no Nintendo DS. Wow. I wonder if I just copy over, will it automatically create Nintendo DS for me? Heck, let's try it. I mean, it should support Nintendo DS. It's not like it's a hard emulator. And I'm gonna copy Neo Geo over. We're not sure how many files I have. Oh, 242. Okay. Oh, I have this. I don't actually, that's not a game, but I have another one here. I think those are probably save stage. And the game list. I need to move those out. Ah, crap. I pasted the wrong one. Let's copy this and then paste here. I'm pasting Neo Geo. I need to get rid of which one is Neo Geo? I mean Nintendo DS. I guess I'll let it finish. I just cut and paste. This Nintendo DS. Then why do I have a Nintendo DS here? Interesting. I guess it realized I put it in the wrong spot. It created one over the other side. Okay. So now I'm going to transfer the bio over. So here's the bio that I use. Copy that. And I'm going to paste it here. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to reject the SD card and then see what happened.
I just find a new image, and this is coming from RetroPie for Raspberry Pi 02W. They actually have on their site, they actually have one that support the GPI 02. So it's the first time booting up, and it's probably gonna take some time to boot up. There you go. It's called Raspberry Brain, R-A-S-P and then B-R-A-I-N. So it's booting up first time. I noticed that if a red light is blinking, that means the battery is low. So I already took out my battery. If you're using a regular battery like this, you don't want to plug it in the charge. This is not rechargeable, so you do want to take it out. So I'm using the power cord because that thing less than 3 hours, 4 hours, the battery is drained out and it's totally dead. Okay, the emulator station crashed. Now I noticed that when I was rebooting from Recalbox, when I put in the PC, it said my main drive in, and then the share folder, which I map it, that is corrupted, that need to be fixed. So I went and fixed it, and then now we're gonna try to put it back in again. And I think because the file is too big. Oh, finally have something come up. So yeah, the configure option. Okay, will the button work now? Oh, good. See, my D button do not work. So you will have to probably configure the Bluetooth and then set up. Wow, that to me is messed up. This is part of the reason I do not like the Pi case, even though it's running Raspberry Pi Zero 2, is that it doesn't have an option to plug a USB to it, or USB port, so you cannot plug a keyboard to it. So that's a volume control, and that's it. It doesn't have anything, and that's the bad thing about it. You cannot plug in anything to it, and you depend on. So the RetroPie does work on this system. It just recently came out, but the problem is how to configure it, because this one is nicer. You could do more thing with it, but the problem is it requires you plug in a keyboard or something of the nature, because the button is not configured, so nothing is going to work. So let's go back to the other memory and the other Recalbox. I think I put too much on it because I use a 256 gig, and there's too much file in here, and it's taking forever to boot up. So I'm gonna put it in and see what happens. Okay, it finally boot up, and let's press. I get confused which button. Okay, so the first thing it boot up, it went to the favorite, and I put a lot of stuff in here. I tried to put at least one. This is a 3 Doom. If I could focus it, it's a 3 Doom game. So I don't know. Okay, let's see if it will play. I don't think the Pi Zero 2 will support this, because this is more of a Pi 4 type of game, because it doesn't work on Raspberry Pi 3B Plus anyway, so it will not work on the Pi Zero 2, because Pi Zero 2 is similar to the. So correct, yeah, it won't work. Let me turn the sound down. I didn't put any Commodore 64. Let's see if yeah, this one originally come with the image, so that both. I didn't have any ROM at that time, so I did not put that there. Nothing. I didn't put nothing on those games. Now Atari I did, so let's see what we have here. Now I went and put the artwork and box art over, so that's the reason it had box art. I transferred from a Raspberry Pi image, from virtual. No, first I transferred this from Virtual Man's image, so that's the reason it have all the box art already. I did not just what you call it, just copy the ROM. If you just copy the ROM over, the problem is it won't have box art, and when you try to scrape it,
it won't scrape very well because I don't know. And also Recall-Box do not have Nintendo DS. Now you might say, well, Johnny, this is only a one screen, it's very small. Why you want to put the Nintendo DS? The reason I want to put Nintendo DS is because some of the games like Mario, you could. Oh, it does move. It just stay in the center, make me think that it's not moving. So it does play. Let's get out that game. I also bring in the snap. So I don't know, is it going to do video snap? But it does play the music, the video music, but it doesn't display it. Alright, let's get out this one because I'm not really familiar with it. Put Atari 52. I guess we could try Centipede. So it's good that I'm able to get box art now. So if you keep the same box art and the wheel and snap, now the wheel and snap, I don't know, Recall-Box might be calling it a little bit different because it's not showing the wheel or the snap art, but it does show the mix art. So the folder is called mix art and it does show. So apparently this one do not know. How about Dig and Duck? Would that work? Do you want to learn the game anyway? Yeah. So for some reason, the emulator does not work on the 5200. Not sure why. Maybe Recall-Box need a different format at the end, the extension. Press A. Let's try 7800. So you hear the sound, but you don't see the video. That's interesting. It's not displaying the video. Okay, the 7800 Atari, it seemed to be okay. My iPad, sometimes when I talk, you think I'm calling. I think I'm calling the thing and it's trying to talk to me. I'm going back. Alright, it's not working for me. But 7800 play well. And then Atari 800. I didn't have that much game. It's just this is a homebrew game from Recall-Box. From Recall-Box. Now Colecovision, I did add some Colecovision game. I know they have some cool game in here, so I went and bring some over. So they have Burger Time as well. Let's go ahead and start it, see if it works. pretty small. Oh, I'm dead. Let's see if definitely work on this system. It would be kind of awesome if it does. Let's do the space. Now this game does work on Pi 3, but I don't know it will work here. Oh wow, it does work.
Space Ace, defender of justice, truth, and the planet Earth. Ace is being attacked by the evil Commander Borg. Hold your fire!
There's Borg's ship.
Dead. So this game does work. That's pretty cool. So that definitely does work on Pi 0. So let's get out of the game. So that's interesting. That's good to know. Alright, the Dreamcast, I didn't have the correct game, so I'm not able to test it. Little toes. Gamegear. I mean, it's a good device to have. It does play. It's a pretty neat gadget of, you know, easy to put the car in, stuff like that. It just don't have the luxury of getting to the network. And the recall box, I don't use it as much. This is actually first time using it where I actually have to try to configure and stuff. But this new version is actually easier to update, because you can actually see the share folder from the window. Even though it's black and white, you have different kind of color where it does, you know, it doesn't look too like just two color. You know, the shading, it looks kind of a little bit of blue, even though it's supposed to be a black and white game. But it's very nice. I like it. You could turn it brighter, turn it darker on this side. So the emulator on recall box, the Game Boy look very nice. Alright, let's switch to the next game. So just to work. But just FYI, it does drain your battery totally dead in 3 to 4 hour play, you know, and you will have to get rid of it. So it's almost like the Turbo Express, which eats the battery very fast, which is not good. And I don't like that about the Turbo Express, was because it was eating up the battery like crazy too. Like you play maybe like 2 hours and then the battery is dead. It's asking you to replace it because light was blinking. So it's kind of the same way with this machine build. But I heard the GPI Case 2, they come with a lithium rechargeable battery, so that is much better improvement. The graphic on this game is supposed to kind of fade out, but in the emulator they make it, the color is very nice. Doesn't look as faded with the actual Gameboy Advance. This is one of my go-to game fighting, which I love. Same like the Ninja Turtle arcade game. But I want to know how well did this Jaws play in how it look in because on the original handheld Atari Lynx, the screen wasn't as great, but it was better than Game Boy, the black and white. And when they first came out competing with Nintendo, I remember looking at the screen and I wasn't very impressed because it wasn't as good. But the emulator using the Raspberry Pi, it actually looked very nice. Actually, the graphics look very nice for Atari Lynx. Cause on the original console, the handheld one wasn't. Wow, this is pretty cool. So the graphics look better on Raspberry Pi than it is on its own console. It's the same thing with the Game Boy and Gamegear. It looked better on the Raspberry Pi than on its own original handheld. Alright, let's get out of that game. Because the one I actually saw on the display when I was thinking about buying it, when Atari Lynx came out in the local store. Oh wow, this game you cannot play. You have to play sideways. How you gonna play this sideways? Oh, you could switch it by pressing select. Oh, that's cool. So we Callbox allowed that to happen. That's nice. Yeah, it does look nicer here using the Raspberry Pi emulator instead of its own console. Alright. Why is the yellow is not disappearing? Oh shoot. Press the one button. Do not work, that's part of the reason. Oh, how about Smash Bros? Is it gonna be glitching? Or is it actually gonna work? I know I tried to play this on some of the older China ghetto type of handheld, and this game always lag. Yeah, you could it's some lagging a little bit. See, you could hear it. Now, if you use Raspberry Pi 4 or Raspberry Pi 3, this game actually doesn't have any glitching and it's played very well. But with Pi 2W, Pi 0 2W, it seemed to have some glitching on the Nintendo 64. So I'm not going to even play it. Just want to see if it. So I know Blazing Star should work. But if some of the different one, like the homebrew type of Neo Geo game, it probably will not load here from the Pi 0. I mean, with the recall box. I think if you was to put it on a Raspberry Pi, it should be okay. Because Raspberry Pi allow you to change or pick a different emulator to make it work, but this one, recall box, if you put it in the wrong folder and it doesn't support that ROM, it's not gonna work. So more I use recall box, the more I like the RetroFlag instead of recall box. But at this time of making this video, my hand tend to get numb because the way, unless I'm putting my hand laying on the floor, on the table, or on my lap, then it would be okay. But if I was to hold this without putting my hand close to my body, my hand would start getting numb because of the position I'm holding it. It's not wide enough grip. That's the reason Nintendo moved from this Game Boy fracture case to the Switch version or the Nintendo DS version. Now, those are a better way of holding it. This is way too narrow, you know. So special for a grown-up person to hold it. Now, Nintendo for kids, yeah, it's not too bad for like 5 or 6 year old kids. But for adult, it's just way too small. That's the reason I'm having an analog, is creating a analog pocket. I did order it, and the reason I ordered it was because I wanted to play the TurboGrafx UCOM or Hugo UCOM, and I have my Turbo Express is already, you know, which is in life, and you have to either replace the component, the hardware, to make it work again, but then at the same time it eats the battery like crazy. You have to plug it in like this machine have to as well. Yeah, Raspberry Pi does eat up a lot of battery life, and that's part of the reason that that's real cool. Those ships are going to be part of my ship. This is a remake homebrew for NES game, and I love this game. So this is a real cool. Oh, I didn't spell the whole word. That's pretty cool. Alright, let's get our game. And yeah, it's pretty much a black and white game, but it looked pretty cool on the smaller screen. It's not like it looked bad on like a pixel thing. But the character looked pretty nice for it. Like the mad little pixels say, I'm digging this, man. This is pretty cool. Yeah. Not bad. Now you could buy this from Nintendo Switch and play this on Nintendo Switch as well. Those of you who have Nintendo Switch. Yeah, nice. Okay, final button. Let me see the option on the screen. Oh, cool. The character looked almost the same unless you pick this other one, the guy. This guy is actually look different, but the rest of the character looked the same as the original. Oh. It's moving, but I'm not punching. So I probably do need to configure the button. How about the 2 button in the back? That's cool. So I'm able to play Turbo Express in a handheld game, which is pretty nice. You bring back the old memory. The graphics look nice. I mean, for $85 and then the Raspberry Pi 2 is only like, I forgot how much I paid for it. I know it's like maybe, I'm gonna say around like 35 or something. It wasn't expensive. Why am I not jumping high enough? There you go, I'm pressing the one button. Press A to jump higher. And then B is the... Okay. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Graphics look nice. I'm loving it. I'm digging this, man. My mad little pistol say, I'm digging this, I'm digging this. This is cool. Now, if you just want to play the handheld type of game, this would be a good one to go to. But if you want to play PlayStation or Nintendo 64 or Nintendo DS, no, this will not be the one to go to because it doesn't work well. And Nintendo DS does not work with the Rico box. It's not supported. I already transferred the file over and nothing has shown up. So it doesn't support it. The format is .chd. Ah, it does support CHD for Rico box. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, let's turn this up. That's the loudest. Not too bad. This is a 4 game in 1. And there's a special button that you push so you can get the 4th game. But I don't know how, I forgot how to do it. I think I did a video on it, but I forgot how to do it. There's another bunk, but I don't remember. Another game. Oh yeah. So the Turbo CD, it worked and it sound fine. Yeah, there's no issue. Oh yeah, graphic looks very nice, very pretty for the Turbo Grafx CD. Yeah, you don't need an analog pocket to do this. I mean, it looks nice. Analog pocket that is coming out 2 years from now. See, that's crazy. You pay like 200 something. I think I paid like 260 something. It won't come out till 2023. Yeah, this graphic looks nice. You know, it's an IPS screen. That's very nice. I think this video is gonna be a long video because I'm combining this with the beginning, how I put everything together. So it's gonna be a long video. Alright, let's try one PlayStation game, which is this one, my favorite game. Let's see if it works. This is also in the CHD format. I think it's CHD. It's compressed, so you don't have to have multiple CD. You just have one CD. You don't have to swap CD or anything, which is much better, in my opinion. Yeah, if you haven't joined Virtual Man's forum, if you join them, you could get all the ROM that he put out, even the PC ROM. He got PlayStation 3 and all the cool stuff. Yeah, I still have to choose a new game. Every time you start this, unless you memorize the tell you to memorize it, you have to set this up, put your name in here. Oh, I think Box does have a save mode. I think you press the select and this button. Let's see if I can save it. Okay, so you press select and X, low, oh, that's a low stage, X and Y. So it's save, see that? Save to a slot 0. So in the near future, you want to go start from beginning, you just press select and see, it go back to the beginning, see? So you don't have to, you can skip that step where you have to log in, which I don't prefer. Ooh. Now, if a video is if it come in constantly, if it continue doing this, then yeah, there is a issue with supporting the PlayStation game, because the video shouldn't have that kind of a problem. But if it does, I mean, this game is not, PlayStation is not going to be 100% supported. Which I already know it's not going to supports PlayStation very well. Only some game. But this is a 3D type of game, so I just press start to start a game. Nope. It just kicked me out. I don't know if it kicked me out because I accidentally pressed start and select at the same time, maybe. Let's see if we could load back to the original stage. Press the select and I think that's an X. Yeah. Let's start the game first. Yeah, let's try press the select and X so we can start from here. Good. Now let's press start. Shouldn't have to press the select button. Sometimes I forget to press the select button because this is not the arcade. Just yeah, it kicked me out. So the 3D game will not be supported unless you play like 2D type of game. Let's try that one. Well, this is also a 3D type of game. How do you get out of PlayStation? Is always 3. Always a 3D type of game. Now this is, I did not overclock this at all. It's just a regular download straight from Recalbox website, and then just adding ROM to it. That's pretty much it. Oh shoot, I choose 3, and 3 every time you jump in it gets swapped to with the lady.
Crash, why must you always muck in my mud? Oh look, I have a mask helping me too. We will find out which one is more powerful soon enough.
Ah, die already. B. It's actually played not bad. This one played good. Alright. So not all the game will work. I don't even play this game. I know there are a lot of people like this game, this console. I just put some just to test it, see if it work. How do we play this game? Is my mouse working? Yeah, it would be hard to play this because you need a mouse to play with this. That's the reason I never could get into it, because I don't know how to play it. And I don't know how to get out. Let's see. It's not even moving. Oh, this is crazy. Let me just power it off because I don't know how it does load. It's just that it's not. I think those are games you have to play with some way somehow with a keyboard. So I'm not sure does Raspberry Pi 2B support. Yeah, it's gonna do this again. Alright, let's go ahead and do the overall what I think. It is a very good price for a handheld, especially if a low-end cost. With the price with Pi 0 or Pi 02, Pi 02W, it is good to have using this case, and it's very easy to assemble, and I like the factor that you could pull it out and put it in. It will remind you of Game Boy cartridge. So I really dig this system. The only thing, the downside I have is that it only support the low-end console. Okay, so it support those 5 different games here too as well. Let's try see if it works. So, and doesn't support arcade very well unless you bring your own box art and put it in the right folder. Then the arcade game will work. So it doesn't work as well as RetroFlag will work if you use the, because Raspberry Pi, if it's not the correct ROM, you can always, when you start the game, you can press A and go into menu and select different emulator. But this one doesn't seem to have that feature. So it's either work or it doesn't work, and you need to put it in the correct folder. So that game worked well. So it does have a lot of support of games. What did I start that game? I'm not even sure. This is a homebrew game that they created. It came with the homebrew game that came with the recall box, which is pretty cool. That's pretty neat. Oh, Super Nintendo. And Super Nintendo shouldn't have any problem issue of playing this, because now Final Fight had problem with the China, what you call it, open source. So let's try here, see if Recall Box play this good or not. Because it is hard to emulate this for some reason, I don't know why. But Raspberry Pi Zero shouldn't have any issue, I don't think. Raspberry Pi Zero 2. Because there's so many Raspberry Pi versions now, if you don't say the correct one. Yeah, it played fine with the... And graphics look nice as well. So no issue with the sound, and no issue with the lacking at all on this game. So that's good. So Super Nintendo, Genesis, Game Boy, all this. Oh, 32X. No idea. Let's try it. I was gonna put Sega CD, but I didn't have any at the moment when I transferred the file. So I did not test, I'm not able to test the Turbo Sega CD. But I think I have Neo Geo CD. Seems like it's pretty good compared to the So Recall Box is handling this pretty well. I'm impressed. This is 32X. So it does play Sega 32X pretty well. Wow. So that's good. They support 32X. And this one is not going to do well because you don't have a PlayStation. You're going to see some will work and some will not work. Let me see if I can find. I think maybe I have removed it because I was having lack of space. Now the Pocket, the problem is you don't have a keyboard, so you can't reset the key button, even though it will work. Nintendo NES worked very nicely. Neo Geo work, but not all the game will work. Nintendo 64, it seemed to work, but some game will have some lacking as well. And those two should be no problem. Genesis should be no problem. Master should be good. Not all the games gonna work. This one worked beautifully. So all this should work nicely. Game Watch should work, Gameboy Advance. So it's a nice collection. Dreamcast not going to work very well. I mean, what do you expect? It is a handheld. It's telling you it's a Game Boy, so it's not gonna play those. Now this one is interesting. It does work. So yes, Colecovision work well, and all those work well. All the Atari, Apple, yes, and this one do not load, so just FYI, it did not work for me. The 3 Doom, I should have know that for fact. That's not gonna work. All right, so my overall opinion about this, honest opinion, is that, let me turn the sound down. My honest opinion is that it's a good screen, in all angle. The way designed, I don't like the way designed. I wish it was designed more like Nintendo DS type, which is all the Game Boy SP where is wider. I love that design better than in all the Game Boys family. So this is pretty thick, so it gives you more of your hand satisfaction holding, because if it's too thin, it's not going to be that good. The button back here does not get used. If you do use it, it's very uncomfortable. It's not a good place to be at. Maybe a little bit higher or something, or maybe on top, but right here you can't feel it. It's like you're looking for, you can't feel it, and it's hard to trying to push at the same time playing the game. So the button design in the back, it would be better if it was in the front, okay, where all the buttons right here, you got space to put it. You could put it all right here, would be nice. If they added the analog, like they call it the Pi Boy, that one make me kind of interesting in looking into it, because you have all the port on the side, but it's very thick. But in a way, it's more thicker, it's easier to hold, it's more like a book, where your hand is not like this, you're able to have a better hold grip. That's the reason when they make the handheld, they have a rounded bottom where you can hold the joystick at the bottom, so your hand have a more of a grip, instead of like trying to play like this. Your hand's gonna get cramped. If it's the more thinner it is, the more uncomfortable it will be. But it doesn't look that attractive because it's thick. And WeCall box right now is the only one that support the RetroFlag GPI. Raspberry Pi is coming out their support, but it also requires setup, so it's not as easy as this. This one is going to be harder to set up, but in the long run, in the near future, they will be probably coming up with the image that you could use for GPI for 02W. Right now, I download all the one that support the GPI 01. It do not work on this 02 at all, and I download all the one I could find in the arcade punk. None of them work, so I have to go to WeCall box website, download this, put the one myself, then it will work. So just let you know, FYI, I will put the link where I download the WeCall box, because if I add this to this video, it's going to be a long video, which is it's going to be like this 2-hour video, okay, because it will become a 2-hour video. So I'm just going to show you this and tell you what I think. And am I going to keep this for people who like this kind of form factor case, and like Game Boy, and doesn't have any problem holding it, and doesn't have problem your hand does not get numb? Yeah, then I recommend getting this. If you're not planning to play this like PlayStation or Dreamcast, then it's okay. If you play it for Turbo 16, Turbo CD, excellent. I will get one of this for that purpose, because it's supported. I was thinking about keeping it, but since they only gave you one screen, I recommend clean it first before put it on it, because this is what I get. Because I thought that peeling it off and put it straight right on top, it should be good. I don't need to clean it, but the one that came like this came to protect the screen when they ship it. When you peel it off, you do have to clean it before you put it on, because this is what happened. Thinking that the screen is good, is not. You got a lot of hair, dust that I cannot get rid of it unless I peel it off. And you can't clean it. This is not where you could peel off, clean it, and put it back on. It's one time, and that's it. And then there's the bubble here, and it doesn't support Nintendo DS. So, and then the third missing, the screen and the way design, and that it eat up the battery like crazy unless you use a rechargeable battery. Otherwise, you're gonna be throwing this away every day you play it. Okay, 3 of this every day, so it's gonna cost you a lot of money. So yeah, so it's good to get a rechargeable battery, and that's the downside. It eat up the battery like crazy, and it only gave you one screen protection, and this thing does get hot. So when you play it for a while, it does get hot. Okay, but the good thing is that it does have support of recall box. Now in the future, it will be supported by Raspberry Pi, because it is out there for people to make one and to share the image. And I like the way this is designed, how easy it is to put it together, and easy to take the SD card out without a big hassle. So you could just pull it out, and you have to put it upside down, but there's no spring or anything. You just have to pull it out straight out like this. And for people who have a real big finger, big hand, you might have problem trying to get this out. Just FYI, just so you know. I mean, I don't have a big hand. I have a pretty small hand, so yeah. So this might be a problem for people that have big hand. And then the copper that they come with is not big enough for it need to be bigger. It's very tiny. It sits right in the middle. It need to be bigger to cover the whole. That will make it better for bring the temperature down. So do I recommend this? Yeah, if you never have one, have a Raspberry Pi before, this is a very easy way to set it up. But if you know how to set it up, you might want to go to Raspberry Pi instead of recall box. But there's no image right now for GPI case that support Pi 02. But there is image if you're using the Pi 0, they do have a lot of image that you could download. But if you're using, like me, I want to use Pi 20, then there's no image out there at this moment within arcadepunk.com. Alright, so just want to make that clear to everybody at this moment. Oh yeah, Happy New Year. Today's the first day. It do not have the support. So maybe down the road I will get a newer model. There's a Case 2 that support the Raspberry Pi 4, and the screen is 3.0 instead of 2.8, which is not that much big a difference, but I like the idea it's 3.0, and you have a docking station, and that one's only $10 more, which is $89 instead of this one. I paid $95 because it come with case, come with a box, which is, I didn't really want to buy all that stuff, but I figure I might as well. But then I realized that some of the con and the pro, and I think the con weigh more than the pro, so I'm gonna return it. That's the bottom line. So I'm returning it. I will wait till they come up with a better version. Maybe they will come out with a 3.0 for Pi 02 that's made for Pi 02, because this is made for Pi 0. not for Pi 02. So if they come out with a bigger screen for Pi 02, and that to me would be worth it. And then in the future, when they came out with a more image, then it's worth getting it, because right now there's not that much image that is already pre-configured for you. So it is pain in the neck using RetroFlag. But WeCodeBox is not that hard to configure. So if you want it, if you're okay with WeCodeBox, then yeah, get the WeCodeBox and then get this, and then create your own image. Alright, thank you for watching. Talk to you later. Happy New Year.